Hello students. So as you all know, we have already completed our first chapter of chemistry, and now we are heading towards our second chapter, that is matter around us pure? Okay, so before going into the chapter, I would also like to tell you that I have already started making videos on the important question answers for your first chapter, and I will also be sharing some concepts of chapters related to other part of the book, that may be chapters like motions, and that the important question answer of those chapters will be also present in my YouTube channel, so you can go through it whenever I post it. Okay, so mainly now I'll be making videos for the second chapter. Okay, so this chapter mainly discusses on mixtures. Okay, so most of the things that you look around us are not pure substances, these are mixtures. So let's start. So most of the matter or most of the substances that are present around us, if you look on them carefully, you will see that those are not made up of only one element or only one type of particles. Okay, so we in our previous chapter we saw that metals are made up of particles, but you will see that most of the substances present around us, you will see that they are not made up of only one type of particles. You will see mixture of different type of particles. Okay, so we can say that most of the substances around us are not a pure single matter, but it is a mixture of different matters. Okay, and this is what mixture is called. What is mixture? So mixture is the if any substance is made up of adding two or more different pure substances, then we call it as a mixture. For example, you see in the first pic, this one here, what you are saying, that salt is added to water, okay, in a glass. So now the solution that we will have, that is when we will dissolve salt in water, we will get the taste of water will turn into salty. So that means you can say that salt is added to the water. So that means now the solution that we will have after adding salt to water, so that solution contains both water and salt. It is not only pure water, or neither it is pure salt, but it is a mixture of two different matter. So one matter is water and one matter is salt. So that is what is known as mixture. So mixtures are combination of two different pure matters, okay, to form one substance. So if you will say the salt solution, so salt solution means it is a mixture of salt and water. So similarly, most of us we breathe, okay, so we need air for breathing, that is we need oxygen, but most of us know that air is a mixture of gases. Okay, so there is no pure substance known as air. So air is not a substance, air is not a pure matter. Okay, so we will not say that air particles. Why? Because air do not have in any existence of its own, so there is nothing known as air. But air is what? It is a mixture of different gases. Okay, so these mixture of gases are together known as air. Okay, so why mixture of gases? Because here you can see this is the composition, this is a diagram showing the composition of air. So what you can see, that 78% of air, it contains nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.04% carbon dioxide, then other gases also. Okay, so what we can see from this, that different gases, dust particles, water vapor, all these together mixes together and they form air. So that means you can say that different pure metals, that is nitrogen is a pure metal, oxygen is a pure metal, so nitrogen is a pure gas, oxygen is a pure gas, carbon dioxide is a pure gas. So all these are different metals, so different gases. So these all pure gases or pure metals, they together comes and forms a mixture, and that mixture is known as air. Okay, so that means what you can see, if you look around yourself, then most of the substances that you are aware of are mixture of different metals. Okay, and these mixtures of different matter is known as mixture. So what is the formal definition? So mixtures are constituted by more than one pure substance, or it has more than one pure components. Okay, and I have already told the mixtures are not a single pure substance. So now we will be looking at the different types of mixtures. Okay, so on the broader spectrum, if we will go to classify mixtures, so first on the basis of composition, okay, on the basis of composition of the mixture, we can classify them into two types. One is heterogeneous, one is homogeneous. Okay, so look at these pictures. Here in the homogeneous, you can see that the two types of balls, that is the purple color ball and the green color ball, are mixed well. That means at every part, if you look, suppose if you consider this part, you will see that there are three balls, three blue balls, three green balls, three purple balls, three green balls. Okay, so similarly, if you look at this part, you will see three purple balls, three green balls. If you look at this part also, you will see three purple balls, three green balls. So that means the composition, that is here, if you find if you try to see the ratio of the composition, you will see that at every corner of the or every part of this mixture, you will see three green balls, three purple ball. That means the composition of each of the component of a mixture, that means if each of the matter is mixed so well that at every part of the mixture you will see equal numbers of or same numbers of components. Okay, so that means the ratio, that means if three ball is mixed with two balls, then at every corner or every part of the mixture you will only see that ratio. Okay, but here you see that if you look at this portion, there is only purple ball, but here you look, there is green ball. Again, if you take this part, you will see that there is two purple ball, two green ball. Again, if you look at this part, there is no green ball. So that means composition is not same. Okay, here you at every corner in homogeneous mixture you saw that the composition remains same. So what does mean composition? Composition means what is the ratio between the two different substances that are mixed. So here suppose the ratio is 3:3. Yes, 3:3. Why 3:3? Because three balls are present against every three green ball. But here you cannot define in heterogeneous mixture you cannot define a fixed ratio, because if you look at this portion, there is no green ball. Again, if you look at this portion, there is no purple ball. If you look at this portion, you will see that there is two balls, two green balls, two purple balls. That is, composition is different. For this portion, for this part, if you try to write the composition, you can write 3:0. Okay, so for this portion, if you will write there is no purple ball, so composition will change. So on the basis of composition, we can write classify different types of mixture. So what is the definition for homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture? So simply you can write, if the mixture has a uniform composition throughout, means throughout the mixture. Suppose we have contained 1 glass of any substance mixture, and if in whole the glass of that mixture, if the composition is same, we will say that that is a homogeneous mixture. And if the composition is not same in every part of the mixture, then we will say that it is a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so what is the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous? In homogeneous mixture, the composition of the two substances or two or more the substances that are together forming the mixture is uniform, that is, it will be same in every part of the mixture. But in heterogeneous mixture, we will see that the composition of the components are not same in every part of the mixture, that is, the composition will change at different part of the mixture. So this is what we know as homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so some examples are, suppose when we dissolve sugar in water, you will see that sugar will dissolve completely in water, and you will see that every part of that solution, suppose if you take 1 spoon of sugar solution in water from the surface, the taste will be same. Again, if you take 1 spoon from the bottom also, the taste will be same. So that means the composition of water and composition of sugar, the composition of the mixture, that is the amount of water and amount of sugar in every part of the mixture is equal. So the sugar solution in water is a homogeneous mixture. But if you try to dissolve sand in water, what we will see that after some time the sand will settle at the bottom. Yes, so sand will settle at the bottom. So that means at the top the amount of sand will be less, but at the bottom more amount of sand will be present. So this is known as heterogeneous mixture because the composition is not same. Okay, so composition is different. Yes. So similarly, for if you look at a liquid mixture, so I have already given the example of salt and water. So here also again, so for similarly like the sugar solution, in salt solution also it is a homogeneous mixture because the composition of the solution remains the same. But if you try to dissolve oil in water, what you will see that oil will be floating, okay, at the surface of the water. Here you can look that the oil is floating at the surface of the water. Okay, so this is a mixture of oil and water. So what you can look, the oil is present only at the surface because it is not soluble in water, and the remaining portion at the bottom you have no oil. Okay, so if you look clearly, there is one complete layer. So this is a different layer, and this is from below this is a different layer. So you can directly distinguish the two different layers. Okay, so that means you can directly tell that the composition is not same throughout this mixture because the composition is different here, composition is different here. So this is a heterogeneous mixture, and in heterogeneous mixture what you can see, you can easily see the different components. So here you can easily see the components is oil and water because they are not mixing very well. Okay, and you will generally see that there will be formation of layer between the components of a heterogeneous mixture. Again, what you can see that in heterogeneous mixture you can easily separate out the components. So if you want to separate oil and water, what you can do, you can carefully just pour the oil from the surface. Okay, so you can easily separate the different components of a heterogeneous mixture. But in homogeneous mixture, what you cannot see any different layer because suppose once the salt is dissolved in water, the whole solution will appear as same. Okay, so you cannot see different layers of salt or different layers of water. Again, you cannot easily separate them. To separate them, you have to do evaporation. Okay, by simply filtering it or by simply pouring it, you cannot separate them. Okay, so heterogeneous mixtures are easy to separate. Heterogeneous mixture, in heterogeneous mixture you will see layers of different components that are forming it. The composition of the mixture is different and different part of the mixture. Okay, so these are some properties of heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so why I am telling you the properties, because it is important, because in exam most of the time the question comes that write the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. So if it is asked in your question what you can write these differences, that is a mixture which different constituents are mixed uniformly. Okay, so that means the composition of the mixture is uniform throughout. These are known as homogeneous mixture. And in heterogeneous mixture, a mixture in which different compositions are not mixed uniformly. That means the composition is not uniform or not the same throughout. So these are known as heterogeneous mixture. Number two, they cannot have physically distinct part, because as in the last example also I showed you that when we try to mix water and oil, there are two different distinct parts. So one part is of oil, one part is of water. Okay, but in salt solution we could not see any different distinct part, because homogeneous mixture we cannot have any physically distinct part. But in heterogeneous mixture we can have physically distinct part, and most of the time we'll have, because if you try to dissolve sand in water, then also you can see that sand will settle at the bottom and water will be present at the top. Okay, so that means there will be two distinct layers. Similarly in oil and water also there are two distinct layers. Again, I have already told that constituent cannot be seen in homogeneous mixture, because all the constituents are mixed very nicely, so it cannot be seen separately. But in heterogeneous mixture you can easily recognize the different constituents that are mixed. Okay, Number 4, I already told that homogeneous mixture it is difficult to separate, but heterogeneous mixture it can be separated very easily. Okay, and similarly then for the 5th point you can write the examples, that is the examples of homogeneous mixture: sugar solution, salt solution, then vinegar, air. Okay, so in air also you cannot separate, you cannot see the different gases because all the gases are mixed with each other very uniformly. Okay, so that is why air is also a homogeneous mixture. But heterogeneous mixture, you can see sugar and sand. So if you try to mix sugar and sand, so what will happen? You can easily see which is sugar, which is sand. So similarly, if you see milk, so milk is a heterogeneous mixture. Why heterogeneous mixture? Because once you start to boil it, you will see that some layer of the cream that is present in the milk separates out easily. Okay, so you can easily see the milk and you can easily see the different fatty fats or the creams that are the creamy layers that separates out. Okay, so similarly blood is a heterogeneous mixture. Why heterogeneous mixture? Because under microscope you can easily see the different plasma, different blood cells, white blood cells, red blood cells easily. Okay, so the composition is not same. Okay, so if you look under the microscope you will see that at some portion of the blood the amount of red blood cell is higher, at some portion it will be lower. Okay, because it keeps on flowing. So blood is also a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so again we can differentiate or categorize the mixtures into 4 different parts. Okay, so the earlier classification was on basis of components. Okay, again these mixtures can also be classified into another 4 different types, that are solution, suspension, colloidal solution and emulsion. Okay, so the another 4 important types of mixture are solution, suspension, colloidal solution and emulsion. Okay, and this chapter which we will be discussing now, this chapter, the chapter 2, when we will move on into this chapter we will see that this chapter discusses on solution, suspension or colloidal solution. So emulsion is not very important or not discussed in your course. Okay, so we'll be looking mostly on solution, suspension and colloidal solution. Okay, so these 3 types of mixtures we will be studying in details in our next class. Okay, so in next class I will be discussing about solution. So again in the next class, before then leaving this video, I would try, I'm again making you the same request that if you want, please subscribe the channel so that you are notified of the different types of videos that I am posting of chemistry, of physics or even biology, or sometimes even of another subjects. Okay, and I will be also posting the different important question answers, that is very important for having a proper concepts. Okay, and parallelly with this chapter 2 I will be also making videos on some topics of physics, so that might also be helpful for you. So please subscribe the channel so that you can get the notification of those videos at proper time. Okay, so thank you.